To round off what's been an exceptional experience here in Toronto, we've come to talk to Andrew. We're head of marketing for Tourism Toronto, because we've got to look at the business side of rugby league and what it offers this great city of Toronto. Andrew, you've partnered up this year with the Wolfpack. What drew you to the brand?
Well, we're excited about the Wolfpack, and this is a new opportunity for us and a new experience. And to be honest, Toronto's really just getting to understand rugby a little more. We're a little bit new, obviously, to the league and to the sport. Many fans here, but we're getting to understand some of the opportunity more. What we do know is the passion of the fans at home, and so we're trying to tap into that and see if we can build this into a travel experience and see if we can use this great passion of these rugby fans to follow their teams here to Toronto, and then show them, of course, this wonderful city that rounds out that weekend and that experience.
Now, this city is a hub of sport. We've been to the Leafs, we've been to the Jays, we've been to the Raptors. Can you see the Wolfpack one day becoming a franchise as big as those huge organisations in this city?
Well, maybe what's most instructive is soccer, football, the soccer team, Toronto FC, that started just about 10 or 15 years ago and is now completely captivated the city. And again, soccer was a sport that came along a little bit behind hockey and basketball and baseball in this market. It was a later entrant at a professional level, and yet we won the MLS Cup last year, and the team absolutely captivated the city, and it's now one of a truly beloved team, and the fan base is wild across the city. So we've seen the potential of a new team. We've seen that as many teams as there are here, and some long-standing teams like the Maple Leafs, there's room for more excitement. There's room for another team to really capture the fans, and we've seen how well the fans respond to that.
There's some fantastic sights to be seen in Toronto, and in that respect, it's a real opportunity for travelling fans to get a real, truly first-class international experience.
Well, this is a city that is at once a very international, global city, but it's also very Canadian. So if you're a sports fan, one of the things you may want to do here is see the Hockey Hall of Fame. Again, for a sports fan, there's nothing else like it in the world if you're a hockey fan. And even if you're not a hockey fan, if you're just into sports, to see the real international nature of the sports, including some English teams. There's some uniforms from English teams that, of course, were all Canadians back in the 1930s and 40s that qualified to play for the English teams, but you can see those uniforms there. And even teams from Mongolia and India, places that you would never expect have hockey presence, that's there. But then, beyond that, this is a waterfront city. You can see here we're down at the waterfront. It's nice to take in the lake on a nice day, the CN Tower and some of the other attractions and experiences. But I always say the best way to experience Toronto is a map, a camera, and a comfortable pair of shoes, and just go. It's a city of neighborhoods, and from Kensington Market, very different, of course, from Kensington in England, in London, but at Kensington Market and the St. Lawrence Market and some of the different ethnic neighborhoods around the city. It's a walking city. It's a neighborhood city. People will say hello to you here, and you get a chance really to experience the best of the world, but also the best of Canada right here.
Last question. Next year, if or when Toronto do make it to Super League, because if it's not this year, I do think it'll be the next year or so. When they get to Super League, you can expect up to, I reckon, conservatively, 20,000 fans per season flooding into Toronto. That must be huge for your local economy.
Well, the UK market has long been our most significant overseas market. Right now, the China market has been growing significantly, so they're the two top markets for us. That's a lot of visitors, and we have a little over 300,000 visitors a year from the UK now, but another 20,000. I hope you're right. What I do know is we've seen how passionate these fans are. We know that these are fans that believe in their team, and hopefully the appeal of coming to see Toronto will be part of that. So follow their team, get a chance to see a great North American city at the same time. It's why we started working with the Wolfpack, because we saw the opportunity. We saw that these fans will travel, and we think there's something there for the future to continue to build both the Wolfpack but also Toronto's international appeal.